So, Yashovarman, welcome to our session, and I would like if you could introduce yourself to our students.
Hello everyone. So as ma'am said, I'm Yashovarman Dikshit and I did my BSc in Economics from NMIMS Mumbai. And after giving my GRE, I have applied to universities in the UK and the US for a master's in data science. And I'm currently awaiting the offer letters from those universities.
Okay, that's good to know, Yash. So, for the sake of this webinar, I hope Yash, you don't mind if I call you Yash instead of calling you
Yes,
Yashovarman.
ma'am.
I hope that's okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
So, Yash, can you tell us about your GRE journey? I mean, what really motivated you to do your GRE? Why did you choose a GRE and not a GMAT? Considering that you're from a non-engineering background, how come you chose the GRE?
I didn't choose the GRE date that time, but I think somewhere in September, I decided to give the GRE end of November. So roughly I had 3 months, 3.5 months to study for it. And as for the course plan, I just decided that consistently doing and working towards both the subjects would be beneficial rather than studying a lot, maybe for a week and then taking a break for 5 days. And then like I'll suggest that don't study in breaks. You should study continuously if you plan to achieve a good score.
Okay, so Yash feels that we should study consistently.
It was around 3 to 4 hours, including the IMS batch. But then once I decided the date and the date kept coming closer, I think I increased my time, the time I devoted to around 6 to 7 hours a day, I think. Not every day, 6 to 7 hours, but like on 3 to 4 days a week, 6 to 7 hours at least.
Okay, and can you also tell me the breakup of the time that you spent on this?
I tried to do, like, if I one day I was doing quant, I did quant. If the next day I was doing verbal, I did verbal, because I didn't want to break the flow of either subject. So I'd say around 3 to 4 hours of quant at a time. I'm not saying you do it at a stretch, but at least in a day, 3 to 4 hours is good enough. And verbal, the same, 2 to 3 hours would be good enough.
Okay, but yes, I'm really amazed that you were able to spend that much time.
That too was work from home, so it wasn't taking up too much of my time. And I think just the fact that I liked both the subjects, English as well as quant, even before I decided to give the GRE, helped me a lot in continuously studying for it and not getting exhausted, let's say.
Okay, that's really good to know. Can you share the secret? How did you master your vocabs?
So I think mainly the master vocab is to keep doing questions, and then like you suggested at the beginning of the session when I joined you, that you should maintain a personal dictionary, which I did, and it has like around 40 pages and 20 words each, so around 800 words, which I've written myself. And I think this helped me a lot because every time I came across a word anywhere, whether it be in a question here or maybe reading something else anywhere else, I wrote the word and took the meaning down, and if possible, took the synonyms of it as well. So as the test day got closer, I was much better equipped to tackle vocab than I was when I started doing it. I think vocab is like money. The more you have it, the more you want. So it's not never going to be enough. Like at the end of the day, you don't know what is going to be coming in the test. Maybe there are words in the test you've never done, despite maybe you've done 10,000 words, but those words you may not have done. So I think you just keep reading and hope that on the day of the test you get questions uh, which you've done before. That being said, I think there is a fix, like there are some words at least which do always come in the GRE, so which is given in the lexicon. So doing those words would be a big help to you.
Okay, can you tell us a strategy which will work in the exam, or what you did that worked for you to get you that lovely V162?
So I think uh, breaking the RC into smaller parts, like don't look at it as a big paragraph. You can obviously there are paragraphs in it, so you can break those into like you can break them the whole thing into mini paragraphs and write. If you don't write it, at least have a summary in your mind of 2 3 lines of what every paragraph is saying. So when you're answering the questions, you know which part of the whole RC the answer would be from. So you're not spending time trying to search for the answer at that time, and that saves you a lot of time. And I would say that I did RC before doing TC or SE, because at least in RC you can you know that the answer is there. You don't have to like keep thinking about it, and then maybe it still doesn't come to you. And specifically for TC, the 3 blank questions, you may spend probably 5 minutes on a question and then still not get the answer. You may get 2 blanks correct and the third one is wrong. So there's really no point in spending so much time on it. Whereas RC and the other RC and SE and the 1 blank ones, there's a better chance of you getting the correct answer for that. Try solving at least 8 to 9 mocks before the actual exam, and at least for 3-4 of them, try to sit at a length for it. Don't take a break.
Right. So yes, there's a very important question which I would like to ask you, which I keep listening to from my students all the time. They're stuck at a 305, they're stuck at a 310, they're stuck at a 311. Any advice for them?
I would say just don't think about the exam day. Don't think of it as a like a destination. I mean, it is a destination, but don't think that okay, I'm preparing for the exam, so I have to just don't keep the exam in the mind. Just do your thing every day, solve questions, and maybe 4 or 5 hours a day. Just keep working on it. I think in most cases, 90% of the cases you'll get there. Unfortunately, if on the day of the exam you don't do that well, then nothing can be done. But I guess just working consistently and solving as many questions as you can for both quant and verbal will get you there.
Great. So Yash, how was your online class experience in the pandemic with IMS? I mean, considering the scenario in which you actually took up this course, how was your online experience with us?
I was quite apprehensive about taking the online course because I knew I'd be at home and I'd be very lazy because obviously there's no environment to study in. But I think I was lucky that I had both of you, and the interface and the way the things were taught, and in general the PPT etc. were quite good because they were quite engaging, and yeah, I mean there were no network issues obviously. So yeah, I think it was quite a good experience, and it helped me focus on what I wanted to do.
Okay. So Yash, before we throw open this platform to our dear students to ask their questions, okay, so can we ask you a final question? How would you like to rate IMS's services in terms of, their training and their materials and feedback and service and everything? So how would you like to rate us? Let's say out of 10, what kind of a rating would you like to give us?
I think anything, I think a 9 would be good enough because I don't believe in perfection of any kind. I don't think anybody is perfect or any institute is perfect. So I won't give a 10, but I think a 9 would be appropriate.